action cameras are one of the biggest parts of the photographic and video market at the moment. And that's not necessarily for photographers or videographers, they just have a huge following because their capabilities are so widely applicable that pretty much anyone can get one of these and find it useful. Now, the biggest name in action has been GoPro for a long time, but there is a new player on the market. So in this video, I just want to give you a real quick overview of these cameras so you can get an idea of maybe which camera's for you, and then you can go off maybe onto the website where we have lots of information and find out exactly what you need to know about these cameras. So first up, I'm going to start with the Insta360 ONE R. This is the new player that people are pretty excited about, and it's probably the one that you know the least about, so let me talk to you about it. Now, it's a new modular system, which basically means you can take it apart. The camera itself looks pretty similar to the GoPro style we're used to. Little cuboid, lens on the front, screen on the back. But what you can do with this is simply pop off the battery, pull these apart, turn it over, and reattach. So you make sure it's in nice and tight, reattach the battery. That should give a nice little click when it's all done properly, and now you have a screen that's facing you. So upsides of the ONE R are that you can now have a screen facing you for vlogging, or if you need to put this camera in an awkward position, mount it in an awkward position, you don't want to open up the app, you can see what you're doing for composition. So that's a really nice feature of this. Now, it is called an Insta360 ONE R, so it'd be a bit rubbish if it didn't do 360 video too, but it does. You can get this in a dual kit, which gives you 2 modules. So we have this module. This is the 4K module. You can shoot up to 4K 60p with this, has that normal flat lens at the front. It also, in the dual kit, comes with this, which is the 360-degree module, and you simply reattach to the camera. So I say to the camera, to the screen module, I guess. Pop the battery back on, should give, again, nice little click, there we go. And now we have a 360-degree camera. Now, if you want to stick this on a selfie stick, the Insta360 has this little mounting cage, you just pop it in, same as you used to with the old GoPros, pop that in, and then you can just mount it. Now, the good thing is this little mounting cage, oh, it's a tight fit in there, has a pretty GoPro-esque style of mount. So it does fit all those normal GoPro mounts that you can find pretty much everywhere nowadays. So here we have now a 360-degree camera, and in 360-degree with this module attached, you can shoot up to 5.7K video. Obviously, you need that bit of extra resolution with 360 because it's such a wide thing for you to look around, especially if you're sticking on like a VR headset. Anything less than that, you'd be having some real trouble seeing what you were looking at. Now, GoPro Hero 8. This is the current GoPro model that is probably going to be one of the most popular action cameras that's out at the moment. Differences? Well, one, it sticks to that normal cuboid system we're used to. Lens on the front, much bigger screen on the back than we're seeing on the Insta360. And because of that, the touchscreen is easier to navigate than the Insta360. But if you want to just see what you're doing, they both do the same thing, and this one you can see from the front. So upsides, downsides. The other thing about the GoPro Hero 8 is that it stays this small when you need to mount it because the mounts are inbuilt. You simply flick these out of the bottom and you can mount it like that. Now, that is shared by GoPro's other current action camera, which is the GoPro Max, and that is their 360 camera. Here you can see that inbuilt mounting system on the bottom there. You can use all the GoPro mounts, but this can produce 360 video. So this produces 360 video at source at 6K, and then to get nice stitching all the way around, it downsamples to 5.6K. So pretty much the same as the Insta360. This camera can also be put into hero mode, which basically makes it into one of these, but it can only shoot at a resolution of 1440 at 60p. The Hero 8 can shoot at 4K 60p, remember, so that's a lot better if you want to be shooting more normal, just wide angle video and not 360. So you can already see the pros and cons. The Insta360 with the dual kit, it has both. If you want to go on holiday, you can just swap the modules and you're fine. If you want to shoot 360 and nice 4K 60p with the GoPros, you need 2 cameras. So that's a big downside if you are that type of shooter. But if you know you're a predominantly 360-degree shooter and you just want to get a little bit of normal video as well, then the Max is for you. The other thing to consider is if you want to do underwater stuff. Now, action cameras are obviously pushed towards underwater shooting a lot. A lot of people go snorkeling, or maybe you surf a lot and you end up diving in quite a bit. It's worth remembering that these curved style of lenses aren't always the best underwater. You will get a much better image with this flat style of lens. So that is worth considering. Now, obviously with the Insta360, it doesn't matter, you can pop this on. But if you've got the Max and you're thinking, that's okay, I can just stick it in hero mode, but you want to do a load of snorkeling, you won't get as good an image underwater as you will out of water with the Max. You will, however, with the Hero 8. Now, all of these have a way of stabilising their images. They're all called different names, so that's helpful, isn't it? So the Insta360 ONE R, that has flow motion, which allows you to get a nice, stable gimbal style of video. The Hero 8 has Hyper Smooth 2. Again, very effective. It allows you to get that gimbal look if you're running along or if this is attached to a mountain bike. And the Max has Max Hyper Smooth. Now, really making a decision between these three is about how you want to shoot with the camera. If you're happy to navigate smaller menus that maybe aren't quite as well as developed as the GoPros because they maybe haven't had as much practice, then the Insta360 ONE R is a fantastic camera. Image quality is good. You obviously have that dual lens kit, which is so useful if you're traveling, especially nice and small. And it charges by USB-C, takes a micro SD card, so it's all the things we're used to, but it just has that modular system which makes it pretty cool to use. And it is waterproof to 5 meters, so you can dive in a pool with it and it will stay nice and safe. You can also get a cage which allows you to go really, really deep underwater if you want to do something like scuba diving. The Hero 8 goes 10 meters underwater, so it is a bit better than the Insta360. Admittedly, you know, this comes in half, so, you know, you've got to give it its dues. But this does go 10 meters underwater. So if you're the type of person who's going to be snorkeling a lot, this is probably more for you, I would imagine. The Max goes down to 5 meters as well. Again, because it's not really made for underwater shooting, the Max, those lenses aren't going to make it the best image quality possible. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're on holiday, you don't rule this out completely. It's not just going to be a blur. It's still going to give you some nice video, but it won't be anywhere near as good as the Hero 8. Now, I hope that's helped you narrow down the type of cameras that we're looking at in the market at the moment. There is a lot to know about these cameras. The spec pages are huge. There's so many different resolutions you can shoot in, lots of slow motion stuff. They all do time lapse. You can also do hyperlapses on all of these, which basically means if you, let's say you take 20 minutes of video, you'll end up with like a 10-second really quick video. You can do that sort of stuff. So all of these have really nice creative features. A lot of them have night modes. The Insta360 has a really nice starry sky mode, which allows you to get like a starry sky time lapse. And that's the sort of good thing about action cameras, isn't it? Because you can be a real creative, get so many different things with such a small little camera. So it opens you up to be able to go anywhere with them. Now, if you want to know more about any of these action cameras that I've got here, so the Insta360 ONE R, the GoPro Hero 8, or the GoPro Max, or any other range of action cameras that we've got on the website, you can of course pop online. We've got loads of information there, or you can give us a call, send us an email, check out our social media, or pop into one of our stores where our expert staff will be able to help you. You can also put a comment here and I will try to get back to you with all the information that you could need to pick the right one. Thanks for watching.